Good morning, I'm Jeannine.
Good morning, I'm Kris, and welcome to the Blue Fiber Tree. Today, the first thing we want to talk to you about is just a big, huge thank you to everybody that came out a couple weeks ago for Great Lakes Fiber Show.
Yeah, that was in Worcester at the Wayne County Fairgrounds.
So much
we
fun.
had a great time. Attendance was down this year, but you couldn't have asked for better days. It was perfect.
No, and for those of you that didn't come out, you missed out.
You
there were a
did.
lot of wonderful, unique vendors there. I had somebody say that they felt like the show wasn't as big as it had been in the past, and I said, well, that's silly because there were 100 vendors.
Yeah, there was actually like 109
was it 109?
or better. He was,
okay.
You know, Dave made sure he is his first year doing it.
Yep.
And he did a great job of making sure that all the spaces were filled. He was even, I mean, we were setting up on Friday, and across from me there was a small booth space between two larger booths, and some lady last minute walked in. She was selling woven baskets, and he went, "You guys need to move over a little bit so we can squeeze her in here." So he was last minute.
That's good. Trying to fill the spaces. Yeah, I heard wonderful things from everybody about how well he handled, like everything. Just the paperwork side of it, getting our stuff ready for next year.
Right.
Like it was that part was really great. I met some great people. I mean, just in general, like, you know, I saw a lot of our customers from Longtail.
Yeah.
And people that we've seen stop by in the past, but I met some wonderful new people. There was I think she's a 14-year-old girl named Maddie that she's been weaving since she was nine. And spinning for the last couple years. So Maddie, if you're watching, I'm still waiting to see what you spin with that art bat. Come on.
So this is Kris's first year having a booth at Great Lakes, and really, you know, she was very lucky to get in because usually you wait 3, 4, 5 years on that waiting list, but so many people had dropped out from the previous years for whatever reason.
I think COVID pulled a lot of people.
It did.
Like some people just didn't recover
right
from that, and that's really sad.
But she got a booth first year. She signed up for last year, got on the waiting list, and she had a booth this year, and you learned a lot.
I learned a lot because I had my booth set up one way on Saturday, and then Sunday morning I came in early and rearranged my booth so that it was a little more open. A 10 by 10 space is very difficult to work with when you have so much stuff. So on the little thing for next year, I was like, and I would really like an extra booth, pretty, please, with sugar on top. I'll pay you whatever, almost, because I would really like a double space because that was, it was challenging.
When you're an indie dyer and you have a lot of things to display and not just yarn, she has fiber for spinners, she has bats that are already ready to go, she's got dyeable yarns, she has finished items. A 10 by 10 is just not enough room to display all those things.
No, and if I hadn't have taken like my big wall hangings to put in there that I did, like, yes, that would have given me more space, but I wanted them out there because I was so very proud of them.
Absolutely, she did a great job with those. So anybody wants, they're still available.
Oh yeah, still available. The owl and my little gray and creamy wave thing, which probably should get a name, but I don't know. I never named a wall hanging before, so we'll have to think about it. I don't know.
So if you need to see them, you can just message her. She'll send you pictures, or if you're in the area, you can come and see them. They're here.
The store they're here, so they sell. And then so we had a lot of friends enter the garment competition and the skein competitions.
Yeah.
How did we do? Like, so Nancy, right? Did Nancy well? No, I'm trying to remember who.
Not Rhonda entered in the crochet category. She did a child's vest, which was fabulous. And she did an amigurumi of the
Jabba
the Hutt. I think she's finished 3rd and 4th.
Okay.
In those.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and then she entered. Well, your skein.
Yeah. So I entered 2. 2 yarns in the novelty category D, art yarn category, and I did 1st and 2nd, and then Tony Jody came in 3rd right behind me. I did not take best of show this year. I'm sad
No.
to say. However, Jean Crawford, wherever you're at, kudos to you. I had no idea that you could spin flax.
Oh, I thought it was the other girl who did
No,
it.
it's not.
Oh.
I thought it was Nora. It was not Nora. This was Jean Crawford. She entered like a total of 16 yarns or 18 yarns throughout the whole category. The woman's legit. That I'm going to have to get way, way better at some things if I'm going to beat her next year. Because that flax was amazing. And I hear it's very sticky to spin.
Flax is a difficult fiber to spin.
I've never tried because I didn't know you could do it. So I may have to try just to see. I'll probably even appreciate more what she did after I try to do it. And I might lose my mind because apparently you have to keep your fingers wet.
You do.
While you're working with it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We'll see.
Because the plant has a, well, yeah, a lot of the smaller orifice wheels, they're actually called flax wheels for that specifically.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because you can only do them so thin. They're super thin. Cameraman gets an A+ today because he's the one who brought that up.
Kudos, Bob.
So yeah, so you have to keep your hands wet, just because of the stickiness of the fiber, but it actually helps make that into the fiber.
Okay.
It's into that yarn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm telling you, listen, when I saw the skein, immediately I thought Nora because she's the person that I know that spins thin.
Right.
Like it looks commercially done when Nora spins thin. So I assumed it was her, and then I asked, and they're like, "Oh no, that's a lady named Jean Crawford." And I went, "Who's Jean Crawford?" She goes, "None of us know who she is, but she entered like 18 times." We're like,
oh my,
I gotta find this woman.
Maybe it was her first
So,
year entering.
I don't know. I really want to find out, like, is she a part of a local guild? Like, I would like to meet her and talk to her.
We'll find her.
But yeah, so
we have resources.
Marty goes, well, Art Yarn did not win Best of Show this year. I go, no, we did not. And I'll be honest, the skeins that I entered compared to the prior 2 years, they were not as complicated or as technically difficult.
Correct.
As what I've entered in the past because I just didn't have time.
Yeah,
I was trying to do too much.
I like the white one with the pop of color.
I like the
that
white one with
nice.
the pop of color too.
We'll have to bring that next time and show you what she did. So,
well, this
she got first place for this. This was her own design.
It's my Halogen Beanie, alk&me's Halogen Beanie. Really love it. So yeah, the competitions were a lot of fun. I hope Rhonda enters again.
I think she will.
Tony Jody will enter again if I have to drag her kicking and screaming.
I'm going to have to do something for next year.
Talented. You should.
We need to talk to them. Hey, Great Lakes Fiber, you guys need to do something for weavers.
And felters, if we're going to be honest.
Because all fiber arts, they're all represented at that show.
They are.
We need to.
They are.
Slowly. We're getting them there.
Yeah. Because I know my daughter said she would have entered the felting competition had there been felting.
Yeah, she's good.
She's good. I'm a weak felter. But speaking of felting, you got a little guy over there we need to talk about.
I do. But
you want to do schedule first?
Schedule first because this will come into play in the schedule.
Okay,
so the rest of June. On the 15th, we have Beginner's Tapestry from 5 to 8. We have our Western Reserve Lace Society group gathering on the 18th from 10 to 1. Our all-day Alzheimer's fundraiser is the 22nd from 10 to 8. Rigid Heddle Basic Weaving on the 25th from 10 to 3. And a Beginner's Macrame on the 30th from 12 to 4. So the all-day Alzheimer's. Now, the last video that we did was all about the fundraiser.
Yes.
We just want to remind you because you still have time to call, reserve your kits, sign up for times. This is the 2D needle felted sleeping fox.
He's so cute.
Designed by Sophie Wheatley, and Regina Harden will be teaching this 10 to 2, 3 to 7. There are 2 times for you to sign up. But if you don't have time to work with her that day, you can just purchase the kit and take it with you. Yeah. It's a complete kit.
And we're here from 10 to 8 that day. So
Absolutely.
you can stop in at any time to pick up a kit.
Yeah.
So that's not a big deal.
So we're taking pre-sales now so that we know how many kits to make. My goal is 50. So call, sign up, pay for the kit. You can pick it up that day. If you are out of the area and you're not going to be anywhere around, We can ship it to you. We have I think it's either $5 or $6. I have to go back and check, but we can ship it to you. So you can purchase the kit, we'll ship it to you, and you'll have everything in there. We're currently working on some very brief instructions to help you get going with this. It comes with everything.
And it's not a difficult project.
It is not. This is easy.
This is one of those that if you've never felted before,
you can do it.
You can still do this. So
it is fine.
Don't panic if you're like, I never did this.
And 100% of the $50 price goes to the Alzheimer's Association, the Longest Day CLE, and most of it, there is a breakdown on their site as far as where the monies go. Part of it goes to the National Organization for Research, but a lot of it stays here in Cleveland to help support the caregivers and things like that. Nice. Also, we will be having available for those of you who would rather do a knit kit.
Yes.
Kris will be dyeing yarns to
this guy
and that
and this guy. So the beanie is the Halogen beanie that I designed. The cowl is designed, it's called the Lozenge Cowl. It's designed by Peg Mayer. She's out of Hudson, Ohio.
Yep.
She's letting us use her pattern for this kit. The kit will include the patterns for both of these designs, and it's made out of 100% baby alpaca, and these are the two colors that represent the longest day.
Yep.
Not necessarily straight Alzheimer's, but specifically these are the colors that when Alzheimer's does longest day projects, these are the colors that represent them. So really pretty colorways, and both skeins of yarn will do both of these projects. So you will not need any more yarn than what comes in the kit. The kits are $56, and we are doing pre-orders for them.
We are. And you can't make both the same colorway. You have to flip the colors.
No, you can do, you do not have to flip the colors. There's enough here that if you want the inside, the honeycomb color to be the teal color on both of them, you would have enough to do that.
Oh, awesome, because I thought you
you don't have to flip it. You can.
Gotcha.
You can make them in reverse or the same. You could be matchy-matchy.
Absolutely perfect, because somebody was asking me about that. Yeah, baby alpaca is great.
So soft.
So we're currently taking pre-sales for those as well. And again, we can ship those to you. It is $6 to ship this kit to you. It weighs a little bit more than the felting project. But yeah, please go ahead and start calling and getting those, because we need to have enough time to make sure that we have kits made for the sleeping fox and enough
make
yarn
sure the
dyed.
yarn is dry.
Yes.
I need it dry by June 22nd. So I'm come on. Make those phone calls so that I don't have to dye stuff on, June 20th and sit there and go, everybody dry, and do some praying. Because that's what I was doing for Great Lakes. I was like, oh my God, please dry.
I'm like, go get yourself some big fans.
Oh my God. I had 4 fans blowing on all those yarns.
Yep.
And they were still retaining water. And I was like, oh my God, you're like a woman who's PMSing. Get rid of the water. It just wouldn't go away. It was driving me nuts.
It was hilarious.
So today, though, we're going to talk about crochet.
Yeah, we're going to talk about crochet.
We haven't talked about crochet. It is June, my friends, and we haven't talked about crochet.
Because we've been keeping it exciting by talking about all kinds of other stuff. Hopefully, you guys aren't bored with this yet. So, hopefully.
I haven't seen a thumbs down yet. That doesn't mean start it, but I haven't seen a thumbs down yet.
That's awesome. All right, so the first thing we're going to talk about are the tools. You guys know all about the yarn already because we went over that a while ago.
When we did the knitting video,
When we did
right?
the knitting, you can review, excuse me, everything about the yarns there. Same yarns can be used for crochet. And you know what? Just for those of you who crochet, you need to purchase enough yarn to do your project. Crochet projects use 30% more yarn than the complementary knit project, just so you know. So make sure you grab that extra 1 or 2 skeins just to make sure. In my store, if you don't use a skein of yarn, you can bring it back and we'll put it towards store credit
Yeah.
because you're going to turn around. You're going to buy something else anyway. So.
Even if it's one of my skeins, because my yarns are here, even if it's one of mine and you've bought too many, you can bring them back. Yep. I don't care.
We exchange.
Yeah.
We're good about that.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about crochet hooks. And this is a very popular crochet hook from Chiagu. It has a wooden handle and a metal top. So when you touch this, you have a nice area where you can grab it in your hand like this, and it's nice and comfortable, and you have a little bit more to hold on to. And then it has a metal hook, so that makes sure that the yarn slides a little bit easier. All right, wide range of sizes for these. This one right here, the H, it's $6.50. Okay, so they're very well priced. Now, Addie has a couple different ones.
That is the devil.
Hmm?
That right there, for people that have any hand problems at all.
Yeah, there's two that they have.
That is not the one for you.
No.
The next one.
This here is their comfort grip.
Yep.
So, and I call it color code, but all their crochet hooks are color coded, which I figured out later. But this one has, it's a plastic body, and it has two different textures in the handle so that you have something to hold on to. Now, my 20-somethings love this one.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
They love this one.
And I like it. I like how it feels in the hand.
Yep.
However, I have to use different movements with that as opposed to the one you're getting ready to show. This is miraculous.
This is the Addie swing.
God bless
and it's
Addie.
Shaped like this. So it's almost like a toothbrush.
Yeah.
You grip it like this. You see that? And then you have a metal head. But it makes it so there's less movement. I have a cousin who has fibromyalgia. This is what she uses. She swears by these.
I probably have 4 of these. I probably don't have them in every size, and I really wish I did. I'm working on a crochet pattern. I know there are a few of you that are watching that know I'm not supposed to crochet. I'm not really crocheting. I'm just designing a pattern. So I'm going to crochet it once, and then I'll be like, here, somebody do the test. But I don't have the size that I need. I'm using the other color code one that you just pulled out. I'm using one of those, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna need, this is actually the size, so we're gonna put this in my account when we're done here, because this makes a huge difference. I mean, it really, really does. My hand doesn't hurt as badly when I'm using this compared to the other. There's just, it forces you, because of its shape, to have better wrist position. It really does.
Yes, and because the larger handles actually make it so that you don't grip as hard.
She should just hand that back to me. I don't know why she's even putting it over there.
Oh,
She knows I'm going to buy it.
So this is, can you still see this?
Yep.
So this is my container of crochet hooks.
Where's your red one?
What red one?
She has these. You have a red one that goes with these.
Oh, it's probably in a project somewhere. Plus I have this. So these metal ones right here are the ones that our grandmothers used to do all those tiny doily works.
That lace blanket that's somewhere in my garage that I have to finish someday.
So these go down. I think the smallest size I have is a size 14.
That's disgusting. Like you can't even see the actual
Tip.
hook. I'm like,
that one is for sewing thread.
Whatever.
So we use tiny ones when I do bobbin lace to do sewings. So there's that. And then
that just sounds painful.
These are your traditional metal.
Those are what I started with.
And these, the smaller they are, the more you have to grip because it's all the same size all the way down.
But for those of you that refuse to give up These,
You have cushions.
they have cushions that you can get to put on the ends that do help some, but they're still not as great as the ergonomic things.
Then there's the 100% bamboo that goes all the way down. Same thing though, the smaller you get, the harder you have to grip it.
I like the bamboo because I feel like the bamboo almost always has a deeper
Okay,
pocket. I don't know why that is.
so it's not the bamboo itself, it's the manufacturer. Because if you look at, now I'm going to say the manufacturers because they're very popular. They're the only ones that were available years ago. Susan Bates
Yeah.
and Boy. Those were the two. And the difference between the two of them is the way that the hook is made. One has a sharper tip with a deeper, and then the other one has a pointier end to get in. So,
I didn't. Okay.
yeah.
I never paid attention to that.
And then
part.
the acrylic ones, I don't even know who made the acrylic ones.
I don't know either, but I love the acrylic ones when you've got bulky stuff.
The only reason why I have the acrylic ones is because I needed a size N crochet hook, and the only way I could get it was in a set.
Yeah, I have I want to say I have a K. I have like two of the plastic ones at home. It was like for a cowl or something that I had the big bulky yarns.
Right. So, those are the tools.
Well,
And then your standard, you need stitch markers for crochet have to be removable.
Yes.
So, they look like diaper pins or something like that. Or some of the ones that have just a hook and a curve. Depends on your project when you're using that, because sometimes they will fall off, whereas the other ones that actually close.
I like the closed ones because if not, I drop the other ones right out of my work.
Or you have one that looks like an earring kind of closure and they snap back in. You can open them up, put them in, and then close them back up.
Are those the ones with the little hole that go like this? You seen those ones that...
You know my stitch markers that I did last year, the cat ones? It has that closure on it.
Okay.
So they're like an earring back kind of thing. So we're going to talk about different things you can make. Everybody knows this is a granny square.
I have the never-ending granny blanket.
Absolutely, because you can just keep going with this and go until it's as big as you want it to be.
I've only got 19 squares.
Or you can make a bunch of squares and sew them together and make a blanket. Now, we had a woman who all she did was granny squares. We would just give her all kinds of donated yarn, and she would just crochet granny squares over and over and over again. She's now 100 years old. She's not doing granny squares anymore, but I still have a lot yet that need to be put together. But we would take those granny squares and we would sew them together and we would give them to the homeless.
Yeah.
So
give the blankets.
there you go.
Absolutely.
Everybody knows a granny square because grandma did it. That's why it's called a granny square.
Yeah.
All right. So then we have, this is a dish rag, or it could be a trivet. It is made out of cotton thread. Okay. You know, they warn you against acrylics because if it's too hot, you can melt the acrylic. Cotton's better. If you double this, you can use it as a pot holder.
Oh, okay.
So this is crocheted in the round. Okay, so there's that. And you're going to see these a lot. Sometimes people do squares for washcloths. I like circles. And I like to make them so they're as big as my hand. So this is good for me, but not for my husband. I need to do it a little bit bigger. This is a crocheted headband. This was crocheted flat and then seamed for the headband. All right. So it was done long ways back and forth. She did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rows. And then she stitched it together to be in the round. This is a crocheted hat.
I like that.
So crochet hat constructions are a little bit different than a knit hat construction. You actually have to do this first, going this way.
Yep.
So
it's like I did my gloves that I designed.
Yes. So you make this length, you seam it together, and then you pick up stitches here, and then you finish it off. Okay. Some people will do flat rectangles and then just kind of gather them up and stitch down, and you're good to go. This thing here, now this is made out of a chunky yarn. This was a worsted weight. And this was a size 4 crochet thread.
Yeah.
Which should be the same size as this, but it's a little bit smaller. This is crocheted out of a chunky yarn, and it is a flat bottom basket that sits. These are crocheted out of size 10 crochet thread. Just round and round and round.
That was a lot of work.
So I was given 2 large garbage bags full of these.
I remember.
And I was selling them for $1 a piece and donating the money to charity. These are the 3 that are left. So they're in my little basket. I can't believe
there's 3 left out of all of those.
Yep, there's 3 left. So there's that.
I love these.
I purchased these fleece blankets from the hobby store. And they come pre-stitched with a blanket stitch edging, which is perfect to pick up and put a single crochet all the way around. And then I just do a shell stitch.
Mm-hmm.
Easy way to personalize a blanket for a baby shower or something like that. Yeah. So these are super fit
for a shower that I had to do because I didn't have time to make anything.
I keep these on the shelf. You know, last minute, I need a last minute gift. Okay, there's some over there.
Especially when your husband goes, hey, I need a baby basket. When? Today. What?
Kris goes, I'll go to Jeannine's store. She has stuff.
It's like, I don't got time to make something today.
These are quick and easy, and if you are in the middle of projects or you're tired of working on what you're working on, grab one of these, do it.
Yeah.
Cleanses
just for some little change of pace.
These little guys.
You like these little guys? They're cozy.
This is amigurumi. Amigurumi is crocheted in the round, and they're just little characters that you do forever. I know. And you do them in miniature. Okay, so this was a worsted weight yarn that I used E or an F crochet hook because you want to use smaller hook for the yarn.
I will not be making those ever.
And the reason being is you need a tight fabric so that when you stuff it, you can't see the stuffing.
That's awesome.
Cameraman Bob, can you hand me the little guy in the rocking chair over there?
The little guy in the rocking chair.
Nope, over there. Right there. This one was done with chunky yarn and a G crochet hook.
Don't throw him. Aww.
This is Dobby, the house elf, with his socks, so he's a free elf.
Hi, Dobby.
Rhonda did this one.
Oh, he's so cute.
And he is done out of DK thread.
She's so perfect.
DK yarn that I have over there, cotton and acrylic blend. And he's not for sale.
No, he's the house elf.
He's the house elf. So
she made me a Loki.
She will get this. Oh, did she?
I have a Loki with a weeble wobble bottom.
Rhonda crochets tight, just so you know. But she does a fabulous job on these little creatures. And when she's in here, all she does is crochet. She actually made this. All she does is crochet.
I've seen her try them now.
Well, yeah, but she doesn't knit, is what I'm trying to say. She does crochet projects.
Yes.
And she does weaving. So there's that. Go ahead, let's do the pillow. You guys have, I think you've seen the pillow before. God.
Maybe.
So this was
heavy.
It's a chunky yarn, super bulky actually. It's one of Kris's.
It's super bulky. It's our drift.
The front and the back was knit, but the flower and the edging is crocheted. Nothing says you cannot combine the two techniques.
No, there's a ton of projects out there that combine the two techniques that make some very, very beautiful projects.
And I do it all the time. You know why? Because I'm lazy and I don't like to block stuff, so I'll put it on the edge so it hangs nice. If it's a shawl, so it doesn't curl. Because I will admit it, I tell people that all the time. So, there's that.
Little combination.
Now,
I gotta get them out of the way.
For those of you from 50s, 60s, we always had doilies everywhere.
Yeah.
You had them on the backs of your chairs. You had them on the arms of the couch and the lazy boy.
They were on the end tables to set the pretty dishes at Grandma's house.
Yes, or on your coffee table. You put a lamp on it, or you put a candy dish on it. You had them everywhere.
This is crochet, guys.
This is still crochet we're talking. So this is a pineapple doily. Okay, the pineapple. These are the pineapples.
Was a lot of work.
You start in the middle and you work your way out. Okay. Size 10 crochet thread.
No thanks.
Or they used to call it bedspread thread, but it's still size 10.
That's what I have from Grandma's is a bedspread.
Correct. This is lace work. When you hear me talking with the Lace Society, this qualifies. Holes on purpose is lace. Now, ignore the stain on this one. We're still working on getting everything
trying to create
out.
Holes on purpose, and every time I get 3 rows in, I go, oh, don't like that. Let's try again.
This is called filet crochet, and it's the same thing. And filet crochet is where you make blocks and spaces, and where you're filling in the netting that you have created. You can make all kinds of designs. You can do words, you can do pictures, you can do all kinds of stuff, and it is fabulous.
Blocks.
Huh? It is blocks, yes. They're blocks of doubles.
Pretty badass.
Mm-hmm. Chain stitches and double crochets is basically filet crochet.
Wow.
Yep.
Learn something new every day.
And it's fun. So you can even graph your own patterns and do it because each square represents a block. So if you fill in a block, it's 3 doubles. So, yeah.
Yeah, well.
Ask Emily.
Oh, is that up Emily's alley?
Well, Emily did that piece for her sister when she got married.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
That's
that was
true.
beautiful.
I don't think I got to see the finished project.
You weren't here that day. She brought it in and she had framed it. So this is just scratching the surface of crochet. Again, I do teach it. This is a blanket. This is a different version of a granny square, but you make the individual squares and then you sew them together. So this was done in 3 colors. This is Serdar yarn, and it is their pattern, and it's really cool because you can create different designs by using different blocks of color.
A little puff
too.
stitch in there. I like that.
They do. Really neat. Now, advantages, disadvantages between crochet and knitting.
There's a few.
There's a few. Crochet, 1 stitch on a hook. If you drop a stitch, you pull back 1 stitch and you pick it up.
Easy fix.
You drop a stitch in knitting and you're crying sometimes.
Right.
Or you bring it in and go, Jeannine, can you fix this? So, yeah, so pick up stitches.
And different though, the other thing is if you, like, when you're knitting and if you see like 17 rows back that you didn't do a stitch or something, you can pick up a stitch and work it all the way back up to where you're at. In crochet, if you're 17 rows down and you go, uh-oh, you're going to be yanking that yarn and you're going to watch your whole project go zip, 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 zip,
So
zip, zip.
Either that or you go design element and you move on.
Usually it's a design element.
If
Because
it's
by
that
the
far
time I'm
back.
17 rows past something, it's like, oh, artist choice.
So the usually when you notice that you've done something wrong in crochet is the very next row because you can't do a stitch that you need to do
Unless you're half asleep.
from the row below. Yeah, don't crochet if you're tired or sleeping. Don't do it. Doesn't work. So, what do you say?
Cameron and Bob's gonna get in trouble today.
And remember, so I did a couple of videos last month on crochet, how to do
the foundation crochet,
how to do a chain stitch and a single, and then the next video was doing a simpler foundation with a single crochet stitch called the foundation single crochet. I will be doing more because you need to see some more things out of me about crochet and knitting both, but I teach it here in the store too, and I can help you with patterns.
Absolutely.
Dissecting patterns is really difficult sometimes in crochet.
It's her gift, though.
Well, my superpower.
It is. It really is. I was looking at a pattern for crochet. For there. First of all, there's like 20,000 different patterns for leaves. And when you're looking up leaf lace patterns, half of them show you, hi, we're going to crochet a leaf. No, I don't want that. I need a stitch that is all combined to create a leaf. So then you're telling Google, no, search for this instead. So I get this pattern, and it's like partially US and partially, I guess, European.
UK, yeah.
And a triple is really a double, and this is really a single. And you get to the part where you think you got it, and then all of a sudden you go, oh, I don't got it. And I'm pretty good at crochet. But this specific, I went, nope, I'm over you. I don't want you as a pattern anymore.
I'm waiting for her to come to me and go, help me.
No, I'm going to figure it out on myself this time. Or I'm going to come back from,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. In the UK, they do not have a stitch called a single crochet. They have chains, slip stitches, doubles, triples, double, triple, 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 that kind of thing. Because they consider when you go into the chain to pull up a loop, we don't count that as anything. It's just something that you have to do to attach the yarn to the next stitch to get it to work. That is counts as one for them. So when you go in and you pull up a loop and then you yarn over and you pull through two, what we consider a single crochet, they consider a double because you've done two movements.
Right. And in reality, it's probably correct.
But
for those of us that didn't learn it.
Correct. But the Sirdar has started putting US terminology in with the UK crochet patterns, which is great.
Oh, it is great.
But the best thing about it is, if you can read a chart, the symbols are the same across.
I can't read a chart yet.
Charts are fun.
I can read. So in knitting, I've gotten better, and I can read some knitting charts, not all, because I still don't know all the symbols. But in crochet, I don't know a single symbol for it. And listen, I've been crocheting since I was little, and I couldn't tell you what one stitch looks like or another.
Right, but what's nice about the chart is you can see what it's supposed to look like. Because the stitches actually show you your pattern should look like this when you're done. So a basic granny square, so say you're doing 6 chains, so it'll show actually 6 ovals. A chain is an oval. A dot is a slip stitch. So so and then you chain 3 up, so there's 3 that are up, and then you do a double. So the thing is, it actually, if you look at it, especially if you're doing in the round, the picture, if you hold it back a little bit, is what your project is supposed to look like, which is really cool. And even with puff stitches and bobbles and stuff like that, front post and back post, you can actually look at the pattern and go, oh, I don't have that. I did something wrong. You rip it out, you start again. But you can see it. In knitting, the chart really only, it's symbols that represent stitches. It's not the stitch itself.
Okay.
Whereas in crochet, you can see the stitch, which is kind of cool. So if you have a written pattern and a chart, try and read the chart because it will have a symbol key. See if you can do it. And then go back and read the row and go, that crochet, single, 2 doubles, a single join. Oh, I did it. I understand what that says. That's the only way you're going to learn. That's how I learned.
See, and I'm wondering if maybe with what I'm trying to do, if I actually, so that program that I have that helps me with charts, Chartminder, which by the way, for anybody that has never used Chartminder, it's awesome because you can also connect it with your Ravelry account. Yay, go team. But I need to switch it over to crochet.
Does it have the option?
I think it does because I did the pro version. I did the paid. There is an unpaid and there's a paid version. When I was doing my hat pattern, I was like, oh, I'm going to need a little more than what this is giving me. So I did the pro version. And I'm going to go on there and see if it has the crochet thing, which I'm almost positive it does. Because then maybe that will help me map out what I'm trying to create with my pattern.
Right.
Oh, look at that.
So some more comparisons between knit and crochet real quick if you're doing a large project like a blanket, crochet is faster. Crochet is faster because you can actually change the height of your stitch by doing a single, a double, a triple. So you can actually make a larger piece quicker because you have larger stitches. Knitting, you are limited by the yarn and the needle.
Yep.
That's it. You can't change it. You can't make it bigger. That's it. So with crochet, depending on what you're doing, because people go, well, which one is easier? Depends on what you're making.
Yeah.
How quickly do you need to get it done?
I would love to knit an afghan. I really would, because my aunt and my grandma had, like, when I'd go to grandma's house, they had the quilt rack, and it had afghan after afghan after afghan, and it was all crocheted or knitted. And somewhere in our family, I don't know which person has it, but I'm going to thieve it from your house, is this beautiful knit afghan that was done, and it's oranges and whites, and it's beautiful, but it was knit.
Right.
There's no way that was crochet.
You need to look up the Tree of Life blanket.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about it because I want it, but I don't want to make it.
Didn't want to make it. So the other thing is, when you're making garments, you have to stop and consider what you're making and who it's for. Hats, crocheted hats, and knit hats, either one, they still work. It's great. You can do whatever.
Yeah, because you can usually increase or decrease the size by a multiple of 10 or something
Correct.
like that.
So
super easy.
no biggie with the hats. Gloves can get a little bulky on your hands. So if you're trying to pick up stuff, you may want a knit glove or mitten as opposed to a crocheted one. Sweaters are a totally different breed. When you start crocheting a sweater, now I've crocheted a few years ago, I think I ended up doing 3 crocheted sweaters is what I ended up doing. One was granny squares put together.
I remember
one
that
was a cardigan and one was a pullover. The pullover was for was for Gwen. She's thinner, so that was a smaller one to make. It didn't come out as heavy.
Okay.
The cardigan, that booger was heavy.
For sure.
But I'll tell you what, to snuggle under in the wintertime, it was perfect. And if it hadn't have been a gift, it would have been mine because it turned out beautifully. I loved it.
I mean, just in general, crocheted pieces are heavier.
They are because they're using more yarn.
30% more yarn.
Yeah.
You're going to feel it in the weight. The weight of this compared to if we knitted the same thing.
Yep.
This is probably 1.5 pounds heavier because it's a heavier blanket, and this is a small blanket.
Yep. So you just have to watch the structure of it. Crochet and knit both will shred the same. And depending on who you are and how much is damaged, it can be repaired easily or not. The biggest problem is matching the threads. That doesn't mean everybody can call me and say, hey, can you repair my blanket? I do some, but it is only if there are very little damage to them.
I mean, you've gotten some in that have been shredded beyond repair.
I've also gotten some in that the yarn was so bad it was just falling apart. Yeah. Every time I touched it, that wasn't happening. And I felt so bad because it was something that the gentleman's mother had made, and it was in a box in the attic, so it dry rot.
Yeah. And
every time I touched it to try to fix it, something else broke, and I went, I'm done. I can't.
Yeah.
I don't want to damage it any more than what it is.
Oh, that's heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is. So, there are pros and cons to everything. If you can knit little guys like this, but this is faster. Mm-hmm. My teddy bear is knit. Mm-hmm. He was fun.
I feel like I knitted a dragon because I didn't crochet the dragon. I think I had that one pattern that knitted that weird little dragon for my nephew.
Was it the dinosaur one that we did?
Dinosaur. I keep saying dragon.
Because I have my dinosaur, he's done. He just needs to be stuffed and sewn up and put togetger. So it was the same pattern.
Same pattern. And that was fun. And I mean, probably not as fast as if I had crocheted.
Right.
But I can knit smaller. I can't crochet smaller.
It hurts her hands.
So bad
juju.
Bad hairdresser hands.
So there's all kinds of things that you can do.
Yes.
And if you're out there in the internet world, you guys, you have access to all kinds of things that are knit and crochet and are very unique.
And if you haven't used Ravelry, shame on you.
Yeah.
It's a very wonderful tool.
And it's free.
Yeah. It's free to be on Ravelry. There are free patterns. There are paid patterns.
You can find just about anything and everything up there.
Yes, yes.
So.
And both Jeannine and I are on Ravelry. So you can look up anything that we've put up, shared, any projects that we've worked on. So you can, are you Longtail Knits?
I'm both. I'm myself personally and Longtail Knits.
Okay, because I'm under Kris Jenkins and also alk&me on there. So I think that's about it for crochet.
I think we have it for today.
All right.
Yeah.
People, June 22nd. Do not forget the fundraiser for Alzheimer's Association. We are really looking forward to it. We are really hoping for a big turnout and a lot of support from our community. It'll be a fun day. Call ahead. What is your store number?
234-808-4383.
I can always remember the last four numbers because of the last four numbers of my phone from when I was 7. So I just can never remember the first part of her phone number. But so see, we were linked way before this store.
So call the store.
Get in and say, hey, reserve. I need a kit for the felting or a knit kit, whatever it is. Share this with your friends, please. About the fundraiser.
You can prepay now. Starting now, you can, when you call in, you can prepay, then you're locked in, you're guaranteed you're going to get one.
Yep.
No biggie. So that's cool. And we're really looking forward to it, and so is Regina. All right. Like and share the post, please.
Subscribe if you haven't.
Yes.
Show us you love us. We're getting up there. We're in the 60s. We have 60-something subscribers now.
We do. It's great.
Yay!
It's fabulous. So,
60 for 6 months. Not bad.
Not bad at all. We're getting there. So, guys, have a great day. Enjoy your time. And
watch for a couple mini videos over the next couple weeks. I have a core spinning one that I'm going to put out soon.
Perfect. And I'll try to do something with crochet. Maybe something in the round just to show you how to do some of that. And you guys, yes, please, you can find her on alk&me. You can find me on Longtail Knits, and you can find both of us on the Blue Fiber Tree.
Absolutely.
So you guys have a great one, and we'll talk to you soon.
Enjoy the rest of your day, guys.
Bye.
Bye.